kind of targeted from the side of Fnatic on it against TLID. There goes the Mathilda as well. Now, we did get to see a chip. How do we feel about the chip from game number 2?
Oh, they pick up the Bruno instead of the Joy. So usually King Kong just wants the Joy, but yeah. Kara picking out the Bruno.
They first picked that Joy when they banned out the Fredrin against Falcon.
Yes,
I think at this point, they're okay with letting through. The Bruno's big. I'm wondering, TLID really thought about that last ban, and they were like, I'm wondering what they were like, what do we risk here? What do we risk here? They ban the Matilda, they give over the Bruno. They get the Lu Yi this time. Supplies the same type of strategy that they brought in with the
Chip.
With Chip, so they get lots of map movement. They get the Suyo, FNOP now, we get a Joy and Hylos maybe? Something like that, something bulky in the front.
Yeah, it could be either option. Both can definitely work in their favor, but with this Lu Yi on the side of TLID, again with that chip, they're gonna have that element of surprise that caught Fnatic Onyx off guard. So yeah, I'm right there. I think the Hylos could be a decision, especially not having the Hilda, not having the Cho. I mean, you really only have the Gatot as well to really be able to get to the back. They are gonna go ahead and pick up the beat of the Flash with this Joy though, alongside some artillery with the long range from the Eve.
Yeah, honestly, the Eve pick is going to be very good. The thing is, for now, Fnatic Onyx Philippines, they don't have a lot of map openers. No one can really check the bushes, which can be very, very dangerous because the Bruno can open the map. The Eve can kind of open the map, but usually you have like a Novaria to see where the Lu Yi is coming. So it's a good draft, but there's still some holes. They have to be careful of Lu Yi's positioning. The moment TLID is able to get, say, the outer turrets for Fnatic Onyx Philippines, it makes it all that much harder for them to farm up.
I think at this point, we need some front line. They go for the Phoveus. Solid answer to the Joy. Solid answer to, I mean, overall, I think just a nice, decent, something they were lacking and something FNOP still kind of lacking, front line. And from this point on, TLID, what do you ban the Hylos, you start banning out anything that's bulky that can kind of hold back this Suyo, hold back this Phoveus.
Yeah, even maybe the glue could be banned out here.
I'm honestly worried if Brusko brings up a TLID roam as well. Because TLID roam alongside with the Eve kind of wins you that mid lane, so kind of denies Lu Yi's movement around the map.
Brusko's known for that TLID, so they might just ban it out. They go for the Edith instead, targeting down onto Kirk. Yeah.
Who said there are no
right now, we got to look at Brusko as well. What is he going to go in for on the roam position? We know he likes to go for those setups, and they're the ones that ban out the Cho. Yeah, the Belleric could be an answer. And then it would be, you're saying for Fnatic Onyx, right? Because if they pick up the Belleric, then technically you don't have to worry about the Joy having a hard counter.
Yep, especially because we've seen time and time again, diversion into the Wrath of Dryad is like you're already surprised and then you're all rooted down. You can't move.
Fair.
So that's a pretty nasty combo as well. That has happened quite a few times in the Philippines.
All right, so final bands coming in. TLID, they already focused on the Kirk. They take out the Gatot as well, so any little bit of frontliners. Hylo's still open for FNOP if they want it with the chip gone. We still need a gold laner as well for TLID. I mean, what have we seen really? I mean, the Beatrix also still open. At least it has some range, right? The thing is you want some sort of late game insurance at this point. I feel like you need some sort of late game insurance when your marbles are sitting right now on Lu Yi, on the Suyo, and you're up against two of the monster late gamers, the Joy and the Bruno.
I mean, he could go back for the Claude again. I mean, we've seen Aaron Shiki on it. His hero pool is definitely very deep when it comes to the gold lane, and survivability may not be the worst option. Even the Natan is up for grabs. You are going to see the Hera taken off the table for the side of Fnatic, though, trying to limit the pool. And there goes the TLID.
They take it.
Take it away. Yeah, smart.
Yeah, very clean.
I mean, like, again, the way that Brusko has been using it, yeah, don't let him have it. It becomes a little bit unfair because you feel like his TLID is controlling 3 heroes. 1 for 3 is not a good ratio.
Yeah, and I mean, and it's just so TLID. The fact that you would think it falls off at some point, right? You think that, oh, it's a fighter, yeah, it does a lot of damage early on. It has a nice mid game, but end game we'll be able to kill it. But not Brusko's TLID. You're still not killing. He times those quicksand guards so perfectly.
So do we see the Hylos glue combination maybe here for Fnatic Onyx to close out this draft. I mean, it wouldn't be the worst option, right? You have an answer for the Phobius, you have an answer for the TLID as well, as we are wrapping it up.
Ruby?
Ruby!
Something like a Ruby.
Tigreal. Tigreal and Hylos.
Big high.
Yeah. Hyrule.
Hyrule? Yeah.
Hyrule.
Hyrule Castle. Yeah, I think at this point, it's simple for FNOP. It's very by the book. There's nothing crazy. Everything works together. You have a lot of stoppage to keep people inside of that RWM as long as possible. You have essentially all the answers you kind of need to make this draft work, to make this composition work. It is a little late game orientated, but knowing FNOP, they can pop off and turn a late into a mid pretty quickly. TLID, on the other hand, what do we go for? Any last guesses for gold lane here?
Natan or Claude. I think they got to go for a marksman that has survivability. I don't really see the Moskov coming out here, but
yeah,
that is going to be the
Moskov.
Moskov. Okay.
All right. So as I'm approaching the caster stable, I would like to say thank you very much to our panelists. You guys did a good job. But now I gotta pass it over. Hit it, Mirko. Hit it. Yep. There you go. Now I'm passing it over to the casters, Mirko, as well as Leo. Good luck on this one.
LaFell literally walked over to the desk and we dapped him up. Ready for game number 3. Both champions on the board, 1-1. Mirko and Leo at your service, bringing you this bout. Both teams actually walking away with a good draft.
I like it. I like the drafts of both the teams. Again, I think both of the teams have adjusted really well from game 1. Game number 2, we saw TLID with an amazing adjustment after getting 10-0'd in game 1. Equalizing the series and now taking a few of those heroes, stomping it, denying it away from Brusko, the Khalid, and the Moskov last pick. I like it, having a Purify and a Blink to deal with most of the threats.
Powerful priority picks for both sides. Meta shakers, icons of what 2024 MLBB should look like here for your entertainment. Fnatic Onyx Philippines facing off against Team Liquid ID. Whoever wins this game is on match point.
We'll see here. Fabian and King Kong both starting on orange buff. They will have the path towards the opposite side of each other's jungle. Yeah, Hezkiel too, by the way, on the Lo Yi. This was a big pick in MPL Indonesia. I think MPL Philippines as well. It was highly contested, but here we haven't actually seen that many Lo Yis in the knockouts.
Because it often gets banned in the first phase when mages are up. In the second, oh, now they're in trouble. Big fight.
Whoa, almost Hezkiel, almost staying alive. Good pick from Super Prince, but now it's King Kong trying to stop Witty from chasing Brusko down. One last slash and a shot from Fabian.
The scimitar finds its target. Now Fabian down to a 10th of his health. King Kong dashing on out, retreat. The winner of that engagement, of course, Team Liquid ID 2 for 1.
Wow. Great recovery there. It looked like his skill was just way too overextended. It looked like he was going to die and there was no trades available. But with the Khalid, this is what you can expect. Also, on top of that, you know, Hezkiel yin-yang reaction, he got that on time, so he actually delayed his death by quite a while with the shield that you get.
Massive win, forcing out that battle spell away from Brusko as well. Now, Fnatic Onyx on recovery mode. They know that they shouldn't have crossed the threshold that far and ended up getting punished. Team Liquid ID this time around, looking at their lineup, again, early game, mid game, late game, they have so much macro control, so much utility across the map that they can force out these fights, and if Fnatic Onyx do answer back, again, another punish is just around the corner. This is the same story as game 2, if you ask me.
Yeah. Set up for the neutral objective. Witty already with a quick sand guard, getting back to full HP. Chunky Brusko low. Aran poked down a bit. King Kong will try to dash in. Electrifying beats coming down as well. Real revelation. Fabian able to escape. Aran goes in with the Infernal Pursuit, finding 2 on the board. That's a revitalized use. Retreat battle. It's King Kong.
Massive box control. And now the post-turtle fight.
Infernal Pursuit again. Aran into the pit. Fabian very low. Still able to dodge away. And the blink away. Witty quick sand guard. King Kong to get a kill back. Implosion from Brusko.
He gets solo killed by King Kong. The beast is unleashed. Now Witty in trouble. 3v1. He gets squashed by Friends.
A double for Super Friends. A turtle for FNOP. And it's a win for sure. Now 900 lead and the tempo on the map.
All right, now Team Liquid have to step on the clutch. Now they have to understand that when these big ticket ults are online for Fnatic Onyx, these battle spells are when they're online, they have to watch out for it because Fnatic Onyx, now they understand, hey, if you want to brawl, let's brawl. Talking about that gold lane matchup, we saw Aaron Shiki, we saw Kelra. When does Kelra start rotating out? Because Aaron Shiki never has to leave.
Yeah.
Aaron Shiki just wait for the SOD.
I think for the Bruno, you just have to chill as well. Whoa! Great diversion! King Kong very low, gets away. Oh, the shot almost took him down. What happened to Witty and Aaron Shiki? Dealing with Super Prince before he can even react to it. No flicker used.
Shutdown on the Monster Mage. Again, Fnatic Onyx on their way to a 1,000 gold lead. Now suddenly squashed once more. Kirk kicking Fabian out of King Kong's orange buff. Oh, still gets stolen.
Yeah, not before the orange buff. Implosion coming down, cancelled out by Aran. Now they're in the midst of it all. Brusko gonna be caught, still able to flicker out. Real worm inflation from the side. Witty, quick sand guard, and Yehezkiel will try to get that yin-yang reaction. They're low. Fabian is charging that arrow down, but will not be able to find the mark. It's great setup though, and I would say neutralization of the lead that Fnatic Onyx had. Witty doesn't have the quick sand guard, dying to the beats of King Kong.
The electrifying beast. I think that was the main factor as to why Fnatic didn't lean hard into that engagement near the orange. King Kong did not have his ult off cooldown, and Super Prince used already the RWM, so there wouldn't have been finishing power. Now Aran, 3 from Fnatic on him. They disengage.
Whoa.
In comes Kurt from the east. Fabian starts up the turtle.
Oh, Aran. Actually, FNOP do not decide to go onto Aran. Respecting his damage, respecting the Infernal Pursuit. Glorious pathway now into the back. Raging Sandstorm dodge away from by King Kong. Aran goes in, King Kong wins the retreat battle. Implosion onto 2 by Brusko.
And the Sacred Hammer places him right underneath, giving a kill to Brusko and to King Kong. They're not done. The RWM keeping him in check. Down goes the Usurper.
3-4-0, make it 4 with the turtle. King Kong, what a retribution. Yehezkiel, he has to be careful. Electrifying beats already from King Kong and the purple buff steal.
So far in game number 3, 5 minutes in, not a single solo kill from Fabian. So he must have such a huge chip on his shoulder. King Kong so elusive, so fast.
Has been just so slippery in every single skirmish. Witty even got juked earlier, right? Popped in the Raging Sandstorm, tried to stop King Kong from getting the beats, from getting those dashes and the stacks. But somehow, some way, man, King Kong found a way, threaded the needle on some of those initiations, and then retreat on time.
It takes a very specific kind of jungler to make those decisions, to say, we're going in, or give me a sec, Electrifying Beats hasn't been unlocked yet, it's on cooldown. Right now, Fabian has to make that kind of decision too. They have to play very defensively. He's lost a buff. And so far, Yehezkiel is going to be playing a key role here. Oh, King Kong checks on 2.
Okay, King Kong still able to escape there. It's just 2 members, but again, just very, very elusive on this Joy.
Yehezkiel has to work with Weedy, and oh wait, underneath the RWM! Yehezkiel sent away! That's a technical knockout, he has to recall!
Purify from Yehezkiel. Baited out, 2-level lead, by the way, for Super Friends.
Hello!
Witty. Oh, King Kong! Happy Feet dodges away from the Raging Sandstorm. Now Electrifying Beats over to 2. This is a 4v1, and King Kong is making it close. Over to Fabian, now Spear of Misery. Fabian, that was not a solo kill, but that was still a kill.
We'll put one on the board for the Usurper, why not? The rest of the map, though, looking like Fnatic Onyx will trade up. That is the tier 1 up top, taken by the Filipino Savage, the gold standard. Will King Kong make it in time, though? TLID already poking the turtle.
Okay. Turtle already started earlier. They know, though, that some of their resources, or a lot of their resources, have been burnt out by King Kong down below. So they got to calm it down a bit. Kelra, this is where he starts participating in the fight, and Witty is chunked low.
That's my question answered a little late. 7 minutes. That's when Kelra starts rotating away after he pushes that tier 1 up top. Now, King Kong takes his purple, rotates down. Weedy jumps in.
Okay. Raging Sandstorm traded with the Glorious Pathway. Aran getting poked again. Pops in regen earlier. Good arrow! Brusko with the Implosion cancelled out, but for the pursuit the reaction. Aaron Shiki now going onto it. Witty taken down.
The Monster Mage swiping away, leading to 2 kills. TLID loses the turtle, loses Witty, loses Aran. Fabian running away. King Kong cannot get to him. The untouchable one pushes away. Kelra in the back line. Triple for Kelra.
That's a hat trick on the Bruno. Super Friends canceling out the recall of Aaron Shiki. Now he's caught in a sandwich, an FNOP sandwich. Kirk, Glorious Pathway doesn't purify, and Kirk gonna be taken down. Aaron able to recover from that crazy sandwich.
He remains untouched, 1-0 and 2. Imagine the struggle that Aaron has to go through to be able to go from lane to lane, protect his jungler, protect that turret, and still get some farm on him currently. This Moscow, when Aaron Shiki, third on the gold ranking, 6.1k up, not even built on his Trinity yet. Meanwhile, Kelra, just a little bit away from that Berserker's Fury.
Okay, looking at the itemization here, Kelra 3-on-1, yeah, you're right. This is a pretty big lead to have in the gold lane, especially with the Bruno. You're gonna hit that power spike, and power spike's pretty big. It's a big one with the Melfic gun. You saw how he was able to siege down the turret tier 1 in the mid lane without minions, just shooting the balls.
Yep, key there is the Malefic gun. While we have it, while it's still here, make the most of it. Now look at the map. It's mostly blue. Fnatic Onyx, they'll play the way that they did in game 1. Conservatively, yet when they need to step on the clutch, get aggressive, they will. And that has been what's made Liquid ID's approach towards the mid-game all the more interesting, is because you want Aran to get in there, jump onto the back line. You want Weedy to catch Prince, to catch Kelra, but he's not seeing any of them.
That's also Aaron picking up the item power spike. 3 items, the holy MM Trinity at the 9th minute mark. So Aaron actually hasn't died here, and he's doing a good job at actually just trading. He's staying up top after shooting the SOD. It might come back to bite him. We'll see how TLID play around this turtle, or Lord rather, here in the 9th minute of the game.
Fnatic Onyx says it's time to dance as Kirk and Brusko control these key bushes, and that's the blitz from Fnatic. They decided they'll trade it. Aaron Shiki was pushing top lane tier 2 all this while. Is that a worthy trade?
I think it's the only trade that they can go for, right? Like, I don't think Aaron Liquid wanted to contest the Lord.
But that's all they could do.
So all they could do was leave it and go for a tier 2 up top. At least they got something compared to if they contested up against a 4,000 gold lead Fnatic Onyx. I don't think it would have done them any good. King Kong stealing away the purple buff. Wishing Lantern for King Kong.
Ooh, wants to start melting Aran and Weedy. We have seen King Kong go toe-to-toe against those two specifically, even in the early game. So now, he's a legit kill threat. He can actually catch him. He has kill, building the glowing wand here. That's his second item. I'll tell you now, if we're struggling to understand how Aaron will spike up, what about Yezkiel? He's literally just a utility mage right now. He is a diversion on a stick.
It's all about the diversion, and I guess the Yin reactions, if you can find it. Kelra has the rose gold, dog. That's the Yin reaction, connecting on the Kelra and Kirk. The glorious pathway placed down there with a real world manipulation. They're gonna go for the siege right there. Witty, Raging Sandstorm onto 3. No one to follow it up. Witty, quick sand guard. Fabian walking up. That's a stun over to King Kong. Electrifying Beast getting him out. Witty, very low, flickering back to safety, and the Lord gets the last swing. Fabian died. That was a fadeaway.
Enough of a distraction, that chaos, commotion underneath the inhibitor allowed Fnatic Onyx to keep the Lord alive long enough to actually get the push. Holy shields popped. Aaron Shiki as well, almost maybe 1 or 2 hits away from biting it. Sent home. Fnatic Onyx picking up the pace here. Look at this. Look at that. Balls in that turret.
Oh man. Kelra. Oh wait, Aaron Shiki took it there. One more. Kelra needs one more hit. He finds it as he goes unstoppable. Witty tried to help him. Aaron, that was his first death.
The bait on the bait. It's true. Maybe it's true. The only one who can touch the untouchable one is the Filipino savage. Kelra taking out Aaron Shiki from miles away. Now the only turret left in Liquid's base. That top lane inhibitor now cleaned up. Brusko, implosion!
Over to Witty. The shove to King Kong. Dismantling him. Real world manipulation. Oh, Kelra does too much damage. That's match point for Fnatic Onyx Philippines.
The Super Family 1 game away from securing the grand final spot.
1 game away. Fnatic Onyx Philippines with the adjustment. Kelra, the Bruno. Oh, disgusting stuff from the Savage.
From the Standard.
From the Standard. We might have a new nickname by the end of this all Leo if he continues to perform like this.
Team Liquid ID back to the drawing board. Now every game is crucial. Every game they have to win to force their way into a game 5. LaFell, Weezy, Trex, talk to us. What did you see? 12 minutes, all it took for Fnatic Onyx.
Carol was like, those are the kicks, by the way. And speaking of, King Kong and Joy. The Joy is still 100% today, by the way. Like Bruno and Joy being on the same team, you gotta split them up. Don't let, because you got long range and you got what do you call it? Gap closer burst. A bit too much burst here.
What happened to Fabian saying that he'll solo kill him, right? You saw the fight on the bottom side. He brought him back up, and King Kong still almost got the kill.
They jumped him. They jumped King Kong in the bot lane. All 4 of them. I saw it in cold day.
Hey, that's the way of the ninja. You say one thing, and then another thing happens. Because I've trained the art of ninjutsu, and the best way to catch your opponent by surprise is don't tell the truth. Show your hands is empty, but you're always ready to strike.
You know, that was actually, like, I really believe that. Like, that was...
No, legit, that is how it is. Yeah. Sometimes we keep the weapons in our teeth.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Now we're jumping into the items. Speaking of weapons, a lot of things to jump into. First of all, the Bruno Kelra 6-0-2. The Malefic gun. Man, it's unstoppable.
Yeah, Bruno. I mean, Kelra was a monster. I think the real star for me this match was Brusko, man. Him, like, we saw this same exact combo with Super Friends and Brusko. The I think it was Game 5 Falcons, was it? Can't quite remember. And it was Game 5, Super Friends Brusko, the Yves and the Tigreal. They are just vicious with this. So many amazing implosions, so many great RWMs. I mean, it's hard to keep up with. Every time TLID thinks they're about to make a play, they are stopped in their tracks. And I don't think there was barely any implosions that Brusko didn't at least catch 2 members.
I mean, honestly, in this kind of situation, unfortunately, Ezekiel used the Louis, but not to great effect. This is one of those situations where if you had a Valentina, maybe you can take the implosion away and then you can fight fire with fire. But honestly, again, let's talk about Super Friends as well. Amazing game by Super Friends. And to be fair, everyone from Fnatic Onyx Philippines did incredibly well. And we can see that Aaron Shiki tried to force some fights. Like, he did well in the side lanes, pushing, basically split pushing. But then when he tried to go 1v1 against Kelra, Soccer and Javelin, apparently Soccer is more superior.
Yeah. So, I mean, yeah, Soccer's definitely a bit of a... You gotta have some stamina.
Yeah.
You know? Spear, you just throw a spear. Yeah, exactly, yep. Super Friends with 61,000 damage.
No, that's not how it is.
King Kong, 44, Kelra. But overall, I mean, all 3 of them played their part in this. And I'm also questioning Witty now. I'm questioning the Khalid pick because I feel like maybe it was a little too forced.
Yeah.
Not everyone can be Brusko Khalid.
Yeah.
You know, and Witty definitely, there was some off performance, I feel like, on the Khalid roam.
And I think that trickled into Yehezkiel having some of a struggle too with this Luyi, right? We didn't get to see too many diversion plays, too many elements of surprise for Fnatic Onyx to worry about, and just some great positioning overall. The combination of the crowd control, the damage from the Bruno, and then King Kong, I mean, you see how effective he was. Even when it was a 1v4 situation, he almost took some members with him.
And now we gotta jump in and look at our MVP of the game. He's known as the Monster Mid Laner. We're looking at our MVP, Super Friends, on this eve, controlling the match. But here's the thing, man. This is the Super family. Everyone did absolutely amazing.
Yeah, Super Friends has... It's been such a... Super Friends has really just showed that he is someone to be looked at in this team. I feel like when we first started looking at Fnatic Onyx back in MPLPH, it was all eyes on Kelra, all eyes on King Kong, Kirk. But for me, Super Friends has always kind of been this unsung hero on the team. The man is a monster. The man carries this team sometimes through the early and mid game to make sure Kelra comes online. The guy definitely, I mean, just overall, his timings, his mechanics, he's one of the best mid laners out there right now.
Yeah, definitely a force to be reckoned with. Super Friends on this eve was a major threat to Team Liquid ID as we now pan on over to a lot of these spicy engagements, but overall, just the aggressive nature that Fnatic Onyx has been known for is starting to prevail.
Yeah, and honestly, looking at the matchup here, something to remind, like, the entirety has been a 3-1. So there's a chance here. Fnatic Onyx Philippines looks like they have roughly figured out how TLID operates. Now, it's really on TLID how they fight back because Super Friends 4-1 and 11, it looks like he understands the way that they move and he stops their movement all the time.
Yeah, so at this point, you know, where do they go from here? Where does Team Liquid ID go from here if they want to tie this up? Because Fnatic Onyx Philippines always, I mean, in every team they've gone against, even when it goes the distance, they always have the final checkmate play. It feels like they always are, it's almost like they're just toying with you throughout the games, and at any point they can take it.
No, I can definitely see that, yeah.
And Kirk, you know, he runs on this Hylos. We saw the Uranus pickup, and it just wasn't as effective. It was not able to get the job done, but this is a totally different story, right? While he's not high in kills, he's high in those assists. To create that opportunity that Fnatic Onyx can make the most out of, and that's how you see them pull off this 12-minute finesse against Team Liquid ID.
Now, here's the thing. This looking like a very close fight. Both teams said it's going to be a 3-2. We'll see if the prediction